Julian Sands was never just another actor. To his fans, he was the elegant Englishman with a sharp gaze, a voice like silk, and a presence that could shift from haunting intensity to quiet tenderness. On screen, he captured hearts in classics like A Room with a View and brought a chilling edge to thrillers like Warlock. Off-screen, though, Sands was a man of quiet passions, books, poetry, family, and above all, the wilderness. He was, in many ways, as much an adventurer as he was an artist. That sense of adventure would eventually lead him to California's San Gabriel Mountains in January 2023. Mount Baldy, known locally as Mount San Antonio, is no ordinary mountain. At over 10,000 feet, it's both breathtaking and deadly, a place that lures hikers year-round with its beauty but hides avalanches, unstable terrain, and weather that can change in a heartbeat. On January 13, Julian Sands set out for what should have been a rewarding trek. He was 65 years old, but friends said he had the endurance and spirit of a man half his age. When he didn't return home that evening, however, his family raised the alarm. It wasn't unusual for Sands to disappear into nature for hours, even a full day, but this time felt different. Search and rescue teams were immediately dispatched. Helicopters combed the peaks, dogs swept the trails, and volunteers scoured ridges and canyons. Yet the San Gabriels were merciless that winter. Heavy snowstorms battered the area, avalanches rumbled down slopes, and entire sections of the mountain became too dangerous to search. Authorities warned even experienced hikers to stay away. Investigators managed to trace one last sign of Sands. His cell phone pinged on January 15, 2 days after he set out. The signal placed him near a steep ridge in the Baldy Bowl area, a treacherous zone known for sudden drops and unstable snowpacks. From that moment on, it seemed the mountain itself had swallowed him whole. Weeks stretched into months. Rescuers launched at least 8 separate ground and air missions, totaling hundreds of hours and massive expenses. But each mission ended the same way, empty-handed. As the search continued, storms rolled in, burying the mountain under even deeper snow. To many, it began to feel like a cruel riddle. Julian Sands had vanished into the wilderness, and the wilderness refused to give him back. His family and close friends refused to give up hope. They described him as a man happiest outdoors, a storyteller who loved the climb as much as the summit. Fellow actor John Malkovich, one of his dearest friends, spoke of Sands' humor and warmth, recalling nights of laughter, stories, and sharp wit. The public, meanwhile, watched and waited, clinging to faint hopes that maybe, just maybe, he was out there surviving against all odds. It wasn't until June 24, 2023, more than 5 months later, that the mountain finally revealed its secret. A group of hikers came across human remains in a remote canyon, along with personal items, a wallet, clothing, and other belongings. Forensic tests later confirmed what many had feared. It was Julian Sands. The coroner ruled the cause of death as undetermined. After so much time, after exposure to the elements, there was no clear evidence of a fall, no definitive marker of what had happened in those final hours. What was clear, however, was that Sands had died doing something he loved, immersed in nature, chasing beauty on the edge of danger. Tributes poured in from around the world. Actors, directors, and fans remembered him not only for his artistry, but for his spirit. He was described as a man of courage, a man who embraced life and all its risks, who found as much joy in the silence of mountains as he did in the applause of audiences, and in that sense, perhaps Julian Sands' final story was true to who he was. Not a man who faded quietly, but a man who sought adventure to the very end, leaving behind a legacy.